What is up, guys? Welcome to the South Coast. Today's video is going to be a bit of a repeat of a previous video of me sharpening the blades on my bad boy mowers. I've gotten some comments on that previous video, some tips and tricks on better ways to get those blades off of the mower. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a better way than the way I did last time. So y'all stay tuned and see what we come up with. Alright guys, so this is going to be my first attempt at a new technique to getting these off. First thing I'm going to do, get those vice grips put on there, and that should stop this blade from spinning. We got 15/16 inch wrench. I have to double wrench it. This thing gotten tight on me. Yep, I think we're gonna have to double wrench it. Well, that's one of them. So you see I got this pair of vice grips just clamped on that baffle right there, and it held the blade from spinning. So we'll see if we can get these other ones lined up. I should just be able to move this vice grip to this other side of the baffle and get this inner one done. So let's move on to that one. Alright guys, well these came out pretty easy, honestly way easier than the first time I did this. I had a conglomeration of an adjustable wrench and a strap, and strap was going around the deck and hooking to part of the mower, and it was just a big cluster if you saw my first video on this. So I definitely think the bolts were easier to get undone because I didn't put them back in with an impact, I just put them back in with my wrench. But this technique is way simpler. Just use the vice grips and a wrench, and then I had a second wrench to double up on that first one because it was a little tight. So what I'm going to do now is, this is going to be a way you can sharpen these, just if you're out of your shop, like on a job, between jobs, something like that, and you got your trailer but you don't really have a workbench with a vise or anything like that. So I'm going to get set up and we'll start sharpening these blades up. Alright guys, well I know this lighting is pretty harsh, but it's what I got to work with. This is sort of how you'd be set up if you were on a job. All you had was your trailer or whatever. So this front rail of this trailer is angle iron. I got the blade just strapped or clamped down to the angle iron with a couple of just woodworking clamps. You can use C-clamps, probably use a couple pairs of vice grips to be alright. So really we're just going to take this hand file and bring back this edge a little bit. We'll flatten out the underside, and then hit this bevel and basically just put a little bit of edge on it. Doesn't need to be super sharp, but right now it's sort of rounded over. You can't really even feel any sort of sharpness, so that's what we're going to do. So one thing to watch while you're doing this is you want to be taking off material pretty much across this whole face. That bevel can concave a little bit, and that's why you see taking off material on the top and bottom. So you really want to keep that file flat to that bevel and try and take off even material on the whole face of it. And so that's what's it'll cut that bevel back, keeping it at the same angle, and it'll give us that edge back on our on the cutting edge of the blade. Alright guys, so this is sort of what you're looking for whenever you get done. So on these blades, obviously the tip, this first couple inches is going to be where you're going to see your most wear. That's where you're going to have your dullest area, so that area is going to take more work. You can see there it's sort of completely shiny, all new metal, as compared to this other section where you can still sort of see some of the original metal there from the original grind. And so this back section doesn't see as much wear, so it stays pretty sharp. And so basically what I do with the file is I stay on there and I just file that bevel and sort of bring that same thickness of the edge that's sort of right here. You probably won't be able to see it in this shot, but you can look dead on the edge and see the thickness of the edge here, and you'll see before you start sharpening down here on this edge that thickness of the edge is much thicker than it is down here. And so what you do is you use your file on that bevel to sort of bring the thickness of this area down to the thickness of your sharper area. So that's what I did on this one. I'll save you the details. Well, not really much of the details, but I'll save you the time it takes for me to actually go through all of this. I won't make this video 30 minutes just showing all that, but that's basically how it goes. I'll go ahead and get the rest of these blades sharpened up, and we'll get them reinstalled. Alright guys, so just a couple thoughts. I got all three of these blades sharpened up, both edges. A couple thoughts before we get them reinstalled on the mower. So really the main goal is to put a serviceable edge, utility edge on these blades. I'm not trying to get them to a razor's edge, not trying to get them to where they're shaving sharp. On a lot of them towards this cutting edge, I don't know if you can see it, but a lot of them towards that cutting edge, they get those chips in the blade there. It can be an issue just of hitting roots or rocks or anything like that. So I'm not trying to get those taken all the way out. Really just trying to more or less get the edge back sharp on either side of those divots, those chips that are taken out of there. It'd take off a lot of metal to get these chips out of there. Another thing is this process goes a lot faster if you use like a angle grinder or a Dremel or some sort of power tool with an abrasive. But the thing you have to remember on using those abrasives on the power tools is not to get these blades hot. You don't want it to be really hot at all. The better blades on the market these days are heat treated to harden up that edge, and if you run over them with a grinder or a Dremel or something and heat that metal up, and whenever it cools down slowly, you lose that temper on that edge, so the steel gets softer, and then it doesn't hold that edge nearly as long as it would with the factory temper. So be aware of that. But like I said, you can use a angle grinder to do this. I think I may try that next time. I may try and use my angle grinder with a flap disc, a sanding disc, not the stone, not like a hard grinder stone, but they make sanding discs for those angle grinders, so I may try that next time. Another note is I could probably use a bigger file, and it would be much more efficient to do this, so I'm probably going to get some better files, and I just need a good set of utility files anyway. I need to get some handles for them, because just using them without a handle on them, wear your hands out. But anyway, let's get these reinstalled, and we'll wrap this video up and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this video. I hope that was helpful to somebody. I know I really appreciate the comments in my last lawnmower blade sharpening video as to give me some different ideas of how to get those blades taken off. Using that vice grip on the baffles under there to hold the blades from spinning while I put the wrenches on those bolts was definitely a good tip. So definitely try that. If that doesn't work, maybe try a C-clamp or something like that. That's what the commenter in a previous video put on there. So I didn't have a C-clamp, but I had my vice grips, so I tried that and it worked out great. So I appreciate you for that tip. Another thing I think I'm going to do next time is get so I have a cordless impact, DeWalt cordless 20 volt impact wrench. And I think what I'm going to do is get the adapter to put a socket on there and get the 15/16 inch socket, and just try and do that. Try and take the blades off with the impact instead of using the wrenches. It may go a little bit quicker. And like I said earlier, I think I'm going to try the angle grinder with the flat disc next time to see how that goes. But anyway guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all learned something from it, whether it was something like a way to do it or a way not to do it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Also, linked in the description of this video is the video for my 250 subscriber giveaway. So give that video a look, subscribe to the channel, and go comment on that video. It should be running, the little contest or whatever should be still running by the time this video comes out. So go take a look at that video. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and hit that thumbs up. But anyway guys, we'll see you next time down here on the South Coast.